What is up? What's up? What's up? Sorry guys, I know it was like on for like 2 seconds, and it just like shut itself off, and I was like, "Rah! What is going on? I don't know." Yeah, it just really pissed me off. But anyways, we're back on, and we are we're gonna be talking about, well, I guess we'll talk about what we already talked about. But I guess we can talk about more than that, you know. Hold on 1 second. Let me let some people know we're live streaming. Bitcoin column made on TradingView. This is why I say to follow me on TradingView, because I make the calls. I got that one tweeted. Go to Mines. You guys under Mines? You guys should be on Mines.com. Mines is really cool. It's it's a social network. It's not like Parlor, you know, it's actually more like a Facebook type thing. Um, I haven't really seen anything like it out there. And plus it pays you in Ether if you're like a content creator, or you're actually if you're just online, I think like you get paid in like tokens. Um, and it's actually pretty cool. Um, you know, and you can just you get followers and things like that, and plus you know, it's all open source software too, so like there's no you know, nobody can like rig like what's going on. Nobody can you know, like there's no what do you call it, algorithms. There's no algorithms that are like, you know, trying to push other people's content in front of yours or anything like that. It's just like all open source stuff. It's really cool. So if you're not on minds.com, like you really should. They have an app too. And like it's very crypto friendly. Like I said, you know, you actually have a wallet in Minds. Here, actually, let me go over to my what I would usually do is go over to charts, right? Well, you know, first let me do my little spiel that I am a, you know, a smart money theorist, and I do things like a smart money way, which means that the big institutions have taken over, and you know, what we do is we look for clues as to what the big institutions have done and try to trade based off of those institutional um, uh, uh, endeavors and what they have done to us. And so we look for those clues and then trade off of those clues, right? So hold on 1 sec. I'm checking my phone here. All right. So anyway, sorry about that. What I was talking about was all that stuff, and what you should do. You should hit the subscribe button. You should hit the like button. Like where you can get more news about cryptocurrencies, about smart money theory, about how to trade against the big guys that are out there, because they're totally taking control of this of sector of um of the financial markets. So before there was four asset classes, right? There was bonds, right? There was commodities, there was equities, and there was currencies, right? And now there's crypto, and I guess you can consider that a currency. I don't know. Like I think that's like a new asset class, like if you study if you study intermarket analysis like I do. I study intermarket analysis. I understand how all the four different markets work together, and how the commodities market will kind of be like just ahead of the stock market as far as how the trends work, and how the currencies are usually about they're about inverse reaction with the stocks and things like that. So like you have to study intermarket analysis. So one thing I haven't really got into is actually studying. Well, I'm getting into it now. Is studying is where does crypto fit into this? And one thing I have figured out, is a little bit more about the dollar and like where it all fits in. But first, what I wanted to do is I actually I wanted to do a shout out to Mines, really quickly, Mines.com, to show you guys what this was like. So Minds.com is this really cool website. Like I said, it's like it's just like a Facebook. So I just put my stream on that. Here I got a Tim Pool video. Here there's this guy. I don't know, some kind of thing I've subscribed to. Here's another Tim Pool video. I think some other thing I think I subscribe to, um, you know, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't sell drugs, don't kill. The government hates competition. It's actually kind of funny. And meet we targets free speech censors. Okay, so there's some, just about as almost as everything you've seen on every other social media platform. But mine's is a little bit more crypto friendly. Like I said, you actually have a wallet here, which is actually really cool. So they pay you in tokens, like, right? So you have these tokens, right? And you can actually transfer them to Ether, and you can transfer them to Bitcoin, I think, or you can buy Bitcoin on here. I'm not 100% for sure, but I know you have to have a certain amount of tokens before you can transfer them to on chain. Right now they are off chain. Um, so whenever they're off chain, it basically means they're not doing anything. Whenever they're on chain is when they're actually on the network and actually making money and growing. Kind of like staking, and Kraken. You can take those off chain and stake them. But you do have a wallet here, and you get like all these different rewards. So basically, I've been getting these rewards daily just for posting my posting my videos and stuff like that. So if you're a content creator out there and you like doing this kind of stuff, plus it'll give you like analytics. Just Facebook really won't do that unless you're one of those people that have like one of the top sites or whatever. I didn't really get any impressions until like I think it was like my first day, which was like early January maybe. I don't know. No, wait. Yeah, I guess it was early January. It was when I finally first started getting on mines, um, but yeah, it's actually pretty cool. You got a Mines Plus. Let's see what this is. Um, Looks like there's some cool stuff going on here. I don't know. I think it's the videos, you know, and then over here you got the tags. So mine's is cool. Plus the messenger that they have is actually encrypted. So like to actually send a message, you actually have to sign up for like encryption. So like it's not like just like an open messenger. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Mines really quick. Mines is really cool. Does some good work. But what I will do now is throw it over to the charts, right? So well, let's first I should redo this, right? So I'm gonna smoke. Sorry, guys. Oops. How's that? So what I did, what I called earlier today, and what I've been noticing is, of course, we have been getting, especially if we look at here, I'm gonna look at Bitcoin here, and here this is actually Bitstamp, and I'm on the 5 minute. Let's get on the 1 hour. And after we had this big fall, and then we had this fall, we went down to 28,000, 2880. That's pretty fairly low, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, it's low in consideration to where we were at 4,200 or 42,000. So we have made some significant moves in between here and there, and these have been pretty big moves. I mean, these are moves that'll take out the typical investor in no time. So the people that are making these moves are people that really know what they're doing. They're people. I mean, like I said, we've seen people that are putting their treasuries in Bitcoin. So we knew Bitcoin was going to have some kind of some definitely some goings on here. So the good things that I see out of this, right, out of Bitcoin right now, right, is that is and I'm leaving this here, and the reason I'm leaving this here is because I love this setup that we have going right now, right? So right now, if you draw this fib from the bottom to the top, right, and you pull back, right, and you pull back into the 68%, or 60, sorry, not 68%, 61.8%, or the 62%, or whatever it is. I try to get a little bit more closer to the 71%, to be honest. I try to get as close to it as I can. We got a little bit into it. And this one here is Bitstamp. If you do this one over here, if we get in the 1 hour of this one, this is Bitfinex. I think this one actually dipped into it a little bit harder. And I think it's acting the same way, right? So yeah, a little bit different, but not too much. But I think I put the same things on here. You have equal highs right here, right? You have equal highs right here at about 38,000, right about 38,000. You have it there, and you also have it here. Right here is 37.9, so a little bit higher. So right around 38,000, right? You have some highs. So, and the thing is that right around that same time is that you also have the 150% extension of this current Fibonacci, right? So you have the 150% extension of this current Fibonacci is reaching the tops of these equal highs, right? So if you don't know what equal highs are in the smart money world, what they mean is they mean I didn't do that very well. Equal highs in the smart money world mean liquidity, right? So what that means is that it's going to come up here and people are going to expect it to sell, right? Why? Because equal high 1, equal high 2. Oh, well, it must be a triple top, equal high 3, that kind of thing. So it's going to come up here. People are going to expect it to sell. And I would expect it to come up here and probably fall a little bit, right? But then it's going to turn around and go straight through it. So to me, this is good news. This is actually fantastic news, right? And especially now that we've pulled back down to this 62%, right, in this Fibonacci, and we started making progress up. It has pulled back, right? It has pulled back. Um, and the thing is that it also hit kind of the same area earlier, but that area wasn't at the 62. It was around the 50, so it wasn't at the place to where investors would actually want it, right? Here is where it got just a little bit lower. It didn't get a whole lot lower, but it got just a little bit lower. Now, that being said, I think this could actually pull back a little bit further because there was almost equal lows, right? So that's one thing I'm watching out for on this Bitcoin, right? And I think that's one thing I think we should all watch out for on this Bitcoin is that even though, right? So we had, here, let me draw a line here. Even though we had this low here, right, which was at 30,960, right? And then we had this other low here, which is at 3847, right? So there were literally about 115, $113 off. So they were really, really close in terms of Bitcoin, right? They were really, really close. So, that being said, I think we could see a little bit more of a deeper push into this area, right? I did call it, getting in here. I did make some money coming up this way. Especially, right here. This is what got me, right? Whenever I was watching this, whenever I was watching this high right here, right? And it became equal highs. I got excited. I got extremely excited whenever it made those equal highs. I don't know if you guys got excited, but I got excited. Because whenever I see equal highs, I see liquidity. I see an area to where whenever it's going to come back up to it, look, it came back up to it, boom, fell back down, came back up to it, boom, fell back down. Next thing you know, woof, went right through it. So I was waiting for a good pullback, right? And I think I entered somewhere around, I think it was like, I can't even remember now. Hold on, let me look on my phone to find out. 30, 30, can't even read right now. Hold on one second. They're 32113. So somewhere like around in here. Here, I'll just actually put a little horizontal line in here. And I will put, I didn't get the greatest entry, that's for sure. 32113. So that was my entry whenever it pulled back. And the reason I entered there was because whenever it was up here and it hit this line right here, right, and it pulled back and it went back up. Oops, didn't mean to move that. Went back up, and then when it came back down, I thought I was going to kind of hit that same spot because there was that spike over here, right? So whenever I saw that spike over here and it hit in here, I thought that was going to kind of be like the area to where it was going to hit again. And then it just kind of it fell back a little bit, but I wasn't worried. I still held on to it. Pulled up, right? It still didn't break the high, so I still held on to it, and then goof, it went right above it. And then what did it do? Made equal highs right here. Now here it spiked through the equal highs. So it spiked through the equal highs, taking out anybody that was trying to go short, like right here at the top. So anybody that was trying to go short right here, the big money makers, the people, you know, in this game that are trying to take people out, they automatically bought really quick, right, and took all those people out. And which is smart. I mean, that's what smart money, that's what smart money does. Goes up there, takes them out, fair game, right? So but I was betting on the other end. I was betting on going the upper way. But once it hit that, and then I saw that big spike up, and then I saw it start retracing, I was thinking, okay, I was like, I'm gonna wait for it to retrace until I can find a good spot to re-enter and go long again. And so far, it hasn't found a good spot, to be honest. I honestly thought about entering right here, right, just because of right here, this bearish order block, right? So you have, but there's a big, I mean, that was the one that had the spike that went down into the 618. So I don't like order blocks that have big wicks. Those are not technically order blocks. Order blocks are very solid. They'll go straight down, and then as soon as they're done, they'll go straight over to the other side, and then they'll go up. That's when you'll find a very good solid order block, right? So since I saw that and I saw that wick, I was thinking, okay, that's actually not a good order block to enter in on. I should wait a little bit longer. And so what I was thinking is that since it did have these almost equal lows, right? So, and this was already in a place of entry that could have been a place of entry for, you know, the big money makers, the, you know, whatever. And it got all the way up there, and it came back down to almost the same spot to the big money makers. They're like, well, but why would we have the same spot? You know, that doesn't, I mean, for one, this one did take off. I mean, yeah, they made a lot of money on that one. So, of course, that was a good one for big money makers. But the thing is, what didn't make sense is that it wasn't at a discount. You know, there was no discount for this guy. I mean, it didn't even get to the 618, so I'm not for sure what people were thinking, to be honest. I mean, what you'd have to do, we'd actually have to get down into the 5 minute of this and then find out exactly what it was to find that entry. Because if you want to find the entries, right, instead of using the wicks, use the bodies on the 5 minute, right? Okay, and so that was the body, right? So, and then I moved that. I didn't mean to do that. That. This guy came down and it almost hit the 618. Almost hit it. I mean, really not that's really not a good discount, right? For the big money makers, right? Even though, it did get above it. It didn't hit the 127%. There was just something not right about this movement, right? And I don't know what it was, but there was just something not right about it. And I didn't like it. So I thought this one was a lot better. Let me get up in here and let me find the body of this since we're in the 5 minute here. And let's get back. Well, now that we're in the 5 minute of it, let's just take a look at it and see where we're at here now. Because now you have that boom, that spike. So this would be, right? So here's you have a little up movement, then you have the boom, the down movement, all the way down through here. But actually, if you want to get technical, that right there would be your order block. And I'm going to lock that into place so I don't move it. It's coming up on it now. So who knows? Right now may be the time to buy for Bitcoin. Again. Because it did find that bearish order block. And also, there was one just underneath it here. Big solid one. Right? Big solid candle. And as soon as it got done with the solid candle, had a little wicked one. Right? Which I'm not really sure about. But big solid candle, a little bit of a wicked one, and then boom, took off. That's what you look for. You look for those candles that go down, and then boom, look for the ones that take off. You don't look for the candles that go sideways, right? Like this, it goes down, goes up, goes down. Yeah, that one kind of a little bit, but still, it already comes through it. That's why I say it's kind of hard to find order blocks sometimes. But when you find them, you find them. Once you spot them, you spot them. This one has a solid top. That's one of the things you look for. You just look for solid top, solid bottom. So this one had a solid top too. But the candle before it was wicked. So this would have been a pretty decent, order block at the time, which it looked like it acted as one, right? So everything that came down to it, it stayed above it, came down to it, maybe came into it a little bit, but then it stayed above it. Then came down to it again, stayed above it, and then eventually, boom, it just went through it, and then after it went through it, boom, it acted as the underside of it, right? So now we're looking for the next one. And I'm thinking this one is the next one. It could be. It may not be. I mean, it's getting closer and closer. But then again, as soon as it's getting closer and closer, it's wanting to jump up and away from it. Which is interesting. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll have to see about this one to see if that turns out to be the order block for Bitcoin. Oh, look at this. Now we got a big green candle. Oh, maybe I should have jumped in. Sorry, I'm checking my phone here. See if I'm gonna set a limit or not. See if I'm thinking about setting a. See if I'm thinking about. Even though it's. See, it's got an equal lows right here. I did. Sorry about that, guys. I really do apologize for just kind of putting my head down for a second. Uh, even though we do have some equal lows here, what I'm thinking that it could come up, right, and then pop through these, right, really quickly, and then go back up. So I'm not for sure. Anyways, how about let's check out Ethereum. And let's see if the Ethereum FUD is over. We'll check on Bitcoin periodically to see how it's going. Ethereum is being, well, I got it on the 1 minute, but it's just been like acting weird. I mean, ever since about what? At 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock East, my time, Central Time. It is now 10:20. Went up, went down, it went up. Acting weird. So, anyways, what I did want to do, instead of being on the 1 minute, let's get on the 15. Where we can see some actual action going on. So, I did pull out the fib here on this one. I didn't expect this bottom, right? I mean, I did expect it to hit, you know, a couple road bumps along the way. The thing is that it didn't get all the way above this guy, right? So that would be 1378, right? This guy was 1377, so came just below him. I mean, just below him, 60 cents below him to be exact. So, to me, those are still considered equal highs as well. So that's setting itself up for it to come back up, right, and take out those equal highs. So put liquidity here. So now what's going on with it is that it never, well, here, I mean, there's really no entrance, so it doesn't matter. So we're going to the 15 minute, comes up, comes back down. doesn't necessarily reach the 0.618, which is a little odd. But let me see if there is this upper order block here. I think that's what it's hitting now, possibly. It might retrace now. Because it was just sitting there for a minute, and all of a sudden it just decided to boom, bust up. I mean, just now. It was doing absolutely nothing for like the longest time, and it just decided to boom, bust up. 1 second, I will be right back. I'm parched and I need something to drink. So hold on 1 second while we watch Ethereum for a moment, okay? All right, do apologize, folks. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. All right. Well, it looks like now my initial thought about Ethereum was that it is going to get down into this area here. And I think the reason I thought that it was going to do that was to create more FUD, right? That's the reason I thought I was going to get down into that area. Create a lot more FUD. And it still could. It still could, you know, be giving people hope and then taking it away, and then giving people hope, taking it away, doing all that kind of stuff. Like I said, there is that equal level of liquidity here at the very, 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 very top. Whenever I saw this, I think this was in the morning or something. Yeah, right around here. It's in the very, very morning. You could see how it hit all four of these tops, and I was like, wow. I was like, that thing is just getting ready to, I mean, that thing is just, it's just ripened to be busted through, as I shall say. Ripened to be busted through with thy sword of price. A sword of price, the price sword. But it did not. Instead, it started just falling. And when it started falling, I was thinking, okay, where's it gonna land? And I first looked over here and I saw this little spike down in the consolidation that was having over in this area. And I thought, well, it's gonna get below that. Right. So of course it did spike below that. Right, and then it immediately went right back up. And I was like, that didn't spike down low enough. And so I actually put a short on it, like right after it. And which was dumb of me. Really, really dumb of me. I lost a lot of money. Oh, I didn't lose a lot of money on that one, but I lost some money on that one. Because I think I put like my limit to like right here or something like that. I didn't want it to get above that, because then I thought it would probably go higher, right? So I lost some money on that one, but that was okay. But it came up, went back down, and then did it again. And then so I put another short on it. And then of course I didn't let the short, well, I think I just closed it out because I was like, screw this. I was like, it's gonna go back up again. And instead I should have just, you know, I think I put a short on like 13, yeah, prior, like right around here at 1308 or something like that. It got up to like 1350. I could have just let it ride, and I would have been fine, and then watched it fall all the way down to 1250. But now, where are we at? So it comes back up to 1377. This one's 1378. So we got equal highs here. Now we have another level of liquidity, right? So whenever this thing comes back up, it's gonna come up with vengeance. It's gonna come up, it's gonna smash this, and it's gonna come up and smash this. So it's just got two levels of just vengeance to be smashed. Right? right now I have a lot of lines going through this is because I was drawing them last night, being like, all right, where is it going to stop at? Where is it going to do this? Where is it going to do that? I can probably take a lot of those away because we should probably be looking at what's happening with it right now instead of what was happening with it last night. I should probably be in bed since I have to wake up at 4 and it's 10:30. All right, so one level I did see was this one. This is kind of a bearish breaker or bearish order block. Not solid, but it is your last up candle before you have your sharp downturn. I mean, this is a sharp downturn. Really good. I mean, and it's I mean, it falls, goes up, falls, goes up. Then you have a big, really deep fall. And then you kind of go sideways. But as you're going sideways, you have the jump up, and then you have the push down. So actually, let's look in the 5-minute of this. And actually, with this candle here, what I'm thinking is that it may have gotten right through. Well, no, looks like it didn't get through the 50% of it. I thought it would have. Well, at least, it not getting to the 15% of this, the 50% of this candle is a good thing. So this right here is a solid candle. I wouldn't be surprised if it does come up and hit this. I don't know where that just came off. All this came from, but I wouldn't be surprised if it turns around, comes up, hits this, and then starts retracing again because we're only at the 50%. And even then, I think we're going to be going lower, to be honest. So if I think we're going to be going lower, and we're just now getting to if we're just now getting 50%, it almost makes no sense to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yes, I know the magnet mode is on. Yeah, it would make sense. Because generally, when it comes to smart money and these kind of things, whenever it falls down, right, and you're trying to get a short on this because you know you're going to go shorter. And like I said, I still think it's going to get down into here because there's still liquidity level over here, right? You still have these spikes down, spike down here, spike down here, spike down here, and plus over here you have a couple of these, boom, boom. So all this looks like in its consolidation, right? So this looks like a support level. All this looks like a support level to me. I didn't mean for it to do that. So because it does look like a support level, that means I would be thinking it would be getting below it. And if we were to take a fib and to measure the whole, oops, didn't mean to do that. Put it down here. Measure this whole thing. Yes, I know. I wish you could turn off that thing that tells you that magnet mode is on. It's like, yes, I get it. Every time I turn it on, it tells me that magnet mode is on. That's the whole point of me turning it on magnet mode. Anybody knows a trick to get around that, let me know. So, this is my theory. This is my smart money theory, right? So my smart money theory is that since we have the full fib from the bottom, which is at 1048, right? Which is where that scary, well, actually I don't think that's scary, that we got below that. And that's where that scary drop was. And that's where we don't want to go again. I think if we get down in this area again, it's I think there's some bad news. Bad news for the Ethereum world. But we pulled up out of it, right? Came back down 1048, right? 1048 all the way up to the new high is what, 1480, exactly 1480. So if we draw the fib from there to there, right, you have, let me get rid of the fib that's on this guy right here. You do have the 60.8, you have the 60, you have the golden zone, right? This the 61.8 down to the 70.9 in this area. But it's also the 60.8 is basically the support almost for this consolidation zone. But you still have the spikes below it. The spikes below it. You have this over here, right? So a lot of people, I think a lot of people are going to be thinking, especially, and I think it still will come down to here. A lot of people are thinking that the 618 is going to be the spot to buy from, right? Because, well, it looks like support. It looks like support. So instead, smart money's going to push through it, right? Because if you're one of those people that are doing short position, long position, and if you're doing a long position, oops, move it over here. I'll move it just a little bit above it. Right. For the people that are doing a long position right around that area, and you think that the 618 is going to be the support, and so you barely place your stop loss right under it, right? Because you don't think, people always give a little bit of room for stop loss. They don't give a whole lot. They'll give a little bit of room for a stop loss, right? And they think it's going to, get above here. Just, as it will. So what smart money will do is that smart money will take this, probably come up here, come down here, probably actually make equal lows, pull up a little bit. Actually, that would actually be smart for it to do. Make equal lows right there, and to make people and actually entice buyers, and probably actually buy up a little bit, and then after that, come back down, probably hit the 618, right? Pull up, entice more buyers, right? And then just drill right through all this. And probably come down to about the 79 before it pumps back up. If anything, if anything, what smart money would do, that's what smart money would do. And I think the reason it getting down to that 70.9, if we look over here to the 70.9, yeah, well, I mean, there is a solid red candle that goes down, but there's no engulfing candle. Here is where you have a pretty good solid candle, and then you have the engulfing candle after that. It does come back down and touch that candle though. That's what that's what I try to look out for. I try to look out for the candles that whenever they're the candles that are the red candles that push down, the green candles that push up afterwards, but then they don't retrace and hit the red candle again. They do that, you're in heaven, basically. Like it's like right here would have been a perfect example, but it came back down and touched it, got inside of it, and got so it mitigated it. And what I mean by mitigate is that short position, right? Somebody went that way, right? They pushed the money supply down, right? Just to get a better entry, right? On this going this way. Going up, going over. And what they did is that since they pushed the money supply down, right, they had big enough pockets to hold until it came back down into that red candle again. And then once it got back down to that red candle again, then what the institutions did was close the trade. They closed the trade because now they're at even. Now they're at even. Push it up again. You've made money. You have one position here, right? Your good position here, where you pushed it down. And then also, what more than likely what they did was they made a second position here. And they made money going both directions. Right? So that's what I mean whenever I am talking about. Well, that's what I mean whenever I'm talking about, mitigation. Mitigation meaning, did the price get mitigated? Did the price, come back and close itself out, basically? So, and you'll see that a lot. It happened right here at this one. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Stop it. Push down here, went up, came back down, and it touched the red candle. just barely, but it did. So since it did touch it, I let go of the trade. It may have been a little negative, but it was more than enough for them to make money going on the upside. So that's what I mean by mitigated. So that's how I'm trying to find a candle over here that hasn't had that happen to. And I haven't really found one. Unless it's this guy right here. Which this would actually make perfect sense. The one sitting on top that nobody's even thinking about. The one that pushed the whole thing down. Is just under the liquidity level. Not near as where I thought it would go. But still underneath the liquidity level to where most people would think it would be support. Not exactly to the 11.75, which is where I'd be looking for. It'd actually be 11.86. So I think something like that will happen. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So, but anyways, at the current moment, we have. Looks like we did have it come up into that area, right? Came up, wicked, started falling. And this is what I'm talking about. Hit this candle right here. Now it might retrace back up a little bit. Or it could push right through. But I'm thinking, I mean, the thing is that it should push right through because there's just so much support right here. And it comes down here and hits this. It makes it look like support, even though it did have a little bit of a fall underneath. You still have this red candle sitting here, right? And so it comes down, hits this red candle where the mitigation happens, right? Where it pushed it down so that it could go up, make money, and then now it's pushing down this way. But now it's mitigated out. And who knows, once it got up here, they could have sold. And now they're hoping to get lower. I'm hoping it gets lower. I'm personally hoping it gets lower. And I think it will. I think since it did take some time going sideways, and we kind of had this weird little shift up, it comes down, it mitigates, and we see this little pullback just now. That's usually almost the run up to the drop. Whenever I see price do that, it's usually that means that there's some force coming, and that force is going to come downwards. I was gonna say unless it hits another candle. Until it's another candle, then it's a completely different story. But it still could do it. Anyways, I know you guys are all crypto fans sitting here watching this. I do want to look at gold. I don't know if you guys are fans of gold or not, but I am a fan of gold. Gold has been interesting and has been gaining and falling at the same time. Looks like, let me see here. Gold had a weird spike down. Looks like it hit the bearish order block though. Last push down. Oops, didn't mean to move that. Last push down. Red candle. Before it moved up. Moved up, but then it spiked down, moved up, spiked down, moved up. Your little drop you have. Not really a turtle soup. We get another 5 minute of that because that looks suspicious. Hmm. All right, let me look at 4 hour here, not 3 hour. 4 hour gold here. Been very bullish late. Well, it was bullish until this big drop, but this big drop happened a while back. A couple weeks ago anyway. But it dropped back down to the I've left the fib on this the whole time. What I mean by fib is that I put the 100 here. Well, it probably needs to come down a little bit more. Let me reset that. That's what I mean. It's starting to get bullish. It did drop down to the 70.5. just like I thought it would. When it first dropped, man, it dropped hard and it dropped into the 50. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. I have no idea what those are. Anyways. But the thing is, we do still have two equal highs almost. Right? I don't know why that one's down here. It needs to be up here. That's my swing high that I was talking about. And so we have two equal highs way up here, right around 1965, 1957. Not really equal highs in gold world, but close enough that they would be both liquidity draws. They would be draws to, well, maybe that's what happened with this one. Maybe this one came up to it because it was a liquidity draw and tried to break it, but it got oversold because it looks like it got there quick. No, not really. Kind of slowly meandered its way there. Hmm. Back over here. If I was to draw a fib, bottom here at this spike. Now that I redrew it, it didn't actually get to the 70.5. Oh yeah, no it did. It did get to 70.5. This one just came a little bit, came back down, but it didn't come back down into it. We will be waiting for it to retrace a little bit longer. Looks like there's equal lows here on gold right at the 68, 618, 62%. I am going to draw those out. Wait, if I trade gold tomorrow, no, it'll be below 1830. And I'm on the 4-hour. Let's now get to the 15-minute. Oh yeah, you can see where it came up, came back down, came back down. Or did it move that? It did. All right. Not a real good looking spot in here either. Let me get down to the fiver. Let me get down to the fiver and see if I can't get in the fiver. Liquidity run. Anybody who was trying to go long. Well, no. Would have done it right here. So, it did it as soon as it got below here. Interesting. So it gets below these guys here, right? These three equal lows. And it just shoots right through them. And then bounces up. Bounces up, making people think it's going to buy, probably. People are still probably buying all the way up until here, and then pulls it down. Gold. Gold's not too bad either. Gold's kind of like the same as Ethereum. For every dollar you make a dollar. From 1810, so it'd been like a $10 difference. That's not that bad. You just had to wait a little bit to get a, return on your investment. Like I say, I do see those equal lows though. I just don't see anything in here. Telling me anything. Hmm. Let me get my parchment. Anyways, I'll keep out a look for look out on. Is there equal highs here? No, no really equal highs. No really equal lows. Definitely be looking for some kind of spike down into this area. Down below 1830. That's what I think going to happen to gold. You would think it'd be somewhat comparable to a dollar, but it is not comparable at all. Oh, I hit US 100, not the dollar. But a dollar. It started off here for the week. Where's this gonna move? So of course, the dollar ended with equal highs and equal lows. So it decided to finally bust equal highs, then come up even higher. And now it's trying to get to these. Now I'm thinking reason why the dollar is having such a little bit more strength than what it would normally have is because of due to the success that Bitcoin and Ethereum have had. All the people that have owned Bitcoin, all the people that have owned Ethereum, um, for years upon years upon years, have basically hit to the point. I mean, basically have retired now. They can just, I mean, they could still hold it if they want to, but I'm sure, they've sit here and played this game for since 2012. They've seen what they've want to become, exactly what they wanted it to become. Uh, they're putting thousands and thousands of dollars of it back into it whenever it was, $1 a coin, $3 a coin, $16 a coin, $45 a coin, things like that. And so now whenever they've accumulated X amount of coins, Bitcoins anyway, and they all of a sudden it's each of them are worth 40 something $1,000. I'm sure they were like, okay, I think I'm done now. I have 400 of these things, more than that, 500, 600,000 of them. It seemed like that was what helped the dollar. A lot of people kind of took off. So that's where we've seen a little bit more success out of the dollar recently, and it hasn't really came lower. It surprised me because kind of wanted it to. So what does that mean for the other guys like GU? So since the dollar it did kind of come low, but it did pull back, which would generally mean that GU would go high and then go low. But instead, GU went high, kind of stayed there. Looks like it broke its highs, which I would expect it to do. Right? Probably a daily high right there. 3:30 in the morning, London session. Yep. It just now did it. 6:30. Broke its high. Now the question is it going to try to break it even higher? Well, that's going to be dependent upon the dollar. Is the dollar going to go lower? I think so. Maybe you see something like this set up. Huge liquidity run. Almost like a wall setup. So that way anybody that was trying to trade short gets knocked out of the trade. Even though it pulls back up into this. Now if you were trying to short into here, you're negative. So now instead what people do is they turn around and they buy. Try to chase it. So then it goes short again. So that being said, I do think the dollar is going to go short, which would mean GU would then go long, which I think it's time. I think it's been wanting to go long for. Geez, I wish I would have caught this. 1 o'clock in the morning, it just rise all the way up. I don't know how many pips that was. 133 pips. Jeez. How long did it take to do that? Started at 2 o'clock in the morning. Stopped at 10. Man, that's amazing. That's the power of GU for you. And look what it did. It broke all those daily lows too. It was just going along. It's going along. And then all of a sudden, it, boom. Asian session, right? Was that during the Asian? Right here is during. Well, no, right here is during the Asian session. As soon as the Asian session is done, boom, goes into the European session. European session drop. London session start. Boom, takes off. New York session. Just kind of, well, New York session started like right around here. So about halfway through. And you always see at the New York session, it always pulls back. You always get a good pullback at the New York session. At least it did. Now what's in store for tomorrow for GBP USD? It broke the lows and it broke the highs, so I don't even know. There's really no liquidity points. I think it might break down to maybe the session low. Not really for sure. What's this line here? Three, 6, 9, 2, 1. I'm to the euro. Euro kind of did the same thing, but not as powerful. Didn't break the highs. So I think the good thing about this is that I think the euro and the pound are both on the same wavelength. Probably both gonna make a dip, then go higher, break these highs. And I think the pound probably gonna end up getting up way higher. I want to see if it's somewhere around in this area. Yeah. Okay. So I think the next target is going to be 37459, which it's already at 37339. So that's only 10 pips to get there. Actually, it would probably be aiming more for these guys right here. You have this big wide open space. So that's going to be the tough part, is breaking up through that. But then it's going to want to pull up through here and then break these. So I think we're going to see some pullbacks and then maybe GBP trying to break up through those 4-hour highs. Euro probably just trying to break up these guys. They can't even get above these other daily highs. The euro has not gotten the same strength that the pound does, so I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Anyways, back to Bitcoin. Let's see where it's at. Looks like since the last time I talked about it, did make equal lows, came up, come back down to the same spot again, right? And then Ethereum, did one last time on Ethereum. Looks like it's breaking lower. Right? Actually surprised about that. Anyways, I think I'm out, guys. I gotta go to bed soon. Peace, love, chicken grease, and always remember to wear your pants, all right? Love you guys. I'm out.